What's up, everybody? How are y'all doing? Hope everyone is wonderful, and welcome to episode 16 of the Reply Line. So cool we're doing this many episodes. You know, I've done other live things in the past, but they haven't all just stuck through the test of time. This one is going well, still going strong, and I'm so happy to be doing it. And today we're going to be talking about a few different things. I have a couple little updates, a new shirt design that I'm working on that I'm going to share with you folks. Then we have some questions like stuff about how inflatable paddleboards are constructed, and then sometimes you can or cannot camp on a beach in certain areas. Then we're going to talk about some straps for glasses or sunglasses. Then we're also going to be talking about why I don't have a campfire most of the time when I'm out there. All right, and we also have a funny, interesting comment I want to share with you folks. So this one is from a gentleman named Kenny Keegi. He says, I'm convinced he was high around the 24-minute mark. Great video, though. So he's talking about my most recent video, and let's see here if we can pull that up for you guys. So the most recent video, whenever I did the 150 miles on the micro skiff. Let's see here. Let's see if I can show it to you guys. Here we go. Hope y'all can see that.
What's left of the old electric shave? You guys remember this from the Ginu trip? Yes, sir. This is that special stuff. And when you put it on your boat, it makes it. I don't know how it went. Like that.
So apparently he thought I was high or something was going on when I was filming that. Well, no, that was at 5:45 in the morning, and no, I certainly wasn't high. I was neither drink nor drug induced, as Travis Tritt would say. But I was just excited to get out on the water, and I was kind of on a very limited sleep. I forgot how many hours I got that night, like 4.5 maybe, or 2.5. It was a ridiculous amount of sleep that I did not get. It was a rough night, but it was still a good trip. But no, I wasn't high. All right, so you guys, welcome to the Reply Line. I'm so happy to have all of you folks here at the Reply Line. I need to get all this worked out. There is a special little piece of hardware I can get where I can change scenes and stuff easier, but it's like a lot of money, and I haven't got it yet, so we're still working. Just bear with me as I click stuff. But real quick, I'll say welcome to a few of the folks here in the live chat. We have Dant98, JCV Vlogs, or JC Vlogs, Blake Hurst, what's up? Chris Bence, Tim Allgood, Christina, and Ray Hicks. You guys, I'm so happy that y'all are here. And so let's get into this episode of the Reply Line. All right, so the first question is from Madsy Woo. Says, hi Trip, does the Blackfin XL Carbon Rail make that much of a difference? Kind regards from sunny England. Well, kind regards back at you over there across the pond. So the question is, does the carbon rail that is in the Blackfin model of the iRocker paddleboard, does it make much of a difference? Well, fortunately, I asked this exact question to the owner of Blackfin just a few weeks ago when I spoke with him on the phone. And yes, it does make a difference. Now, how it makes a difference might not be exactly what you think. Now, a lot of times we may think, okay, that's going to provide more stiffness, and it probably does provide more stiffness, which makes your board perform better, paddle better. He said, but really kind of the main thing that it will do is it just adds an extra shield or a coat of armor around the sides of your board, which is generally where people will bump into stuff, and where they have the greatest potential of making a hole in their board. And so when he said that, I thought to myself, okay, you know what? In my Red Paddle Co board, I do have some damage, and that is where it's at, because one day I was when I was down in Port St. Joe scalloping, or Cape Sandblast scalloping, I tied my paddleboard up to a pylon that night, some sort of little post in the ground where I was camping, and it had barnacles on it, and during the night my paddleboard bumped against it, and it kind of scratched through the outer layer of the PVC a little bit. No, it didn't leak or anything. The board's still doing fantastic, but that just goes to show that can be a more likely area for you to damage your board, and so you have that extra piece of fabric in there that can make a difference. So yes, there is a difference, but the main difference in the Blackfins is I guess the features, the looks. You get the good pump, the good bag, stuff. It's just a better board in general. All the accessories, and you get the carbon rail. And I think it's constructed a little bit differently than the other boards as well, to be lighter and stiffer. Yeah, which is good. If you're usually it takes more weight to get stiffer, but they have something that makes them special. All right. So great question. Thank you for asking that, because if it wasn't for your question, I would not have asked that to Dan over at iRocker, and I would have learned that. So fantastic. Thank you, Madsy Woo. All right, next question is from Diana Hammond. Diana asks, she says, I'm a little late to the party. And yes, a little late because this is a video I made a couple years ago when I actually slept on my red Paddleco paddleboard, with it floating in the water out at Crooked Island. She says, I'm wondering about the regulation for that beach. She's talking about Crooked Island where I camped. She said you can have a fire, put up a tarp, but then you can't sleep on shore for the night, which is true, but you can leave all your other gear on the beach overnight. I just don't get the logic. Do you know why they have that rule? So this area she's talking about, like I said, is Crooked Island, which is between Mexico Beach and Panama City Beach, Florida. And it's right there at Tyndall Air Force Base. And that island, that barrier island, is Tyndall Air Force Base property. And they don't allow you to camp there overnight. They don't allow you to be, I guess, on the shore at night, more than likely. So that's the reason that I was camping on my paddleboard, floating, 10 foot off of the shore, sleeping on the paddleboard. So why do they have that rule? I don't know, really. And yes, it is kind of silly to me. I don't really get the logic, but I do know that that place, it used to be used for target training. For like the fighter jets and stuff. They would drop bombs or ordnances or shoot, their bullets down there to target practice on that island. And that's and I know that because, well, for one, I found a big slug from a bullet there one time. On a previous trip, and also people just mentioned that, so that could be one of the reasons. But I do know that sometimes they will patrol that area, the military, and they will ask you to leave a certain area because they may be doing some sort of flights or tests or something in an area, whether that be with drones or with aircraft. So that could have something to do with it. I don't know, but I had to find a way around it, so that's why I slept on the old paddleboard. And I slept really, really good that night, if I remember correctly. I slept very good, yeah. And a lot of people thought I was going to fall off. I kind of thought I might too, but just to let y'all know where I was, if I would have fallen off, I'd have fallen off in like that deep of water. So, big deal, right? All right, so next question is from Heath Rogers. Yeah, and the camera didn't, kind of made it look like, okay, maybe that's deeper water where Trip's at, but no, it wasn't. Wasn't that serious. All right, Heath Rogers, he says, where can I find the blue retention straps? So the straps he's talking about are these straps that I have worn on my glasses for quite some time, and these are Chums. They are silicone. They're fairly cheap. I get them at like Walmart or Camping World or wherever. They just slip on your glasses. They hold them on pretty good. I like them. They're, about your average style, but they're not like the type that I have my neck straps, which are the ones that go on the glasses and come down and then fasten around the neck so that, they don't fall off. I get a lot of people asking, Trip, where do I get those? Where do I get those? Especially like the last 2 weeks, people have been asking a little more than normal. And unfortunately, that company doesn't make those anymore. Or something happened to the company. I kind of noticed, my relationship with them, because they did send me the neck straps. It was kind of a intermittent and kind of changed people over time. So I could tell there was something going on within the company that, wasn't great, and they were out of stock and stuff. So unfortunately, you can't get those anymore, really. And yeah, I haven't even looked in like a couple of years if you can get them, but no, you probably can't get them. You're gonna be lucky if you find them. It'll be from some sort of other vendor who still has a few in stock. All right. So next question is from EB. EB says, is there a campfire in this one? And I get someone, it could be EB, who asks me frequently, did you have a campfire in this adventure? Did you have a campfire in this adventure? Did you do a campfire this time? And most of the time I say no, I didn't. I guess, the ambience or whatever of the campfire is just good for a camping video, and yes, it probably is. But then they're like, okay, well, why don't you have a campfire? Well, the reason that I really don't do a campfire much is because, well, you know, I don't want to gather the firewood unless I'm cooking something, then I will, or unless it's just really cold. But a lot of times when it gets dark, I want to go lay down, and I want to avoid, you know, the smoke getting all over my gear, making my gear stink, right? When I bring it back home, it doesn't stink anymore. But I guess more so is in the past I have had where embers from the fire have gotten in the air and landed on my tarp or tent. Actually, back when I was backpacking, I had that happen. And I've had a few holes get in like a jacket or a shirt just from embers of a fire. And I'm just thinking, okay, well, do I really need a fire? No, I don't. I don't have to worry about the hassle of making one and stuff, so I usually don't have a fire. Granted, it probably would be cool if I did, but unless I'm cooking something, I don't have a fire. But even if I do, I usually only have a fire long enough to cook something, and I'm done with the fire, right? So there's not really, you know, a lot of fires in my videos. And I'm sorry about that, but, you know, I'm not your average camper guy, YouTube, outdoor camper, bushcraft, whatever, kayaker, you know, fisherman. You know, I do things a little differently. So there's one of those things I do a little differently, and I guess that is the explanation on why I do it a little bit differently there, EB. Hope you enjoy that explanation. All right, so now I'm going to take some time, jump in here. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to show you folks the new shirt design. And by the way, you guys, if you are watching this, watching the replay, didn't get a chance to catch it live, well, you need to be sure that you hit that bell icon so that you are notified whenever I go live, so you can join in on this live chat and ask your questions live if you so desire, and I'll see about answering those. So all you folks in the chat, I see you guys chatting down there. What's up, everybody? Leonard, Ron, Mad Sai, B-Dub, Eastrup, King Rex. You guys, if you have questions, now's the time to ask those, and I'll be getting to those in just a moment. If you would, start your question or your chat comment with a question mark so I know that you're asking a question. All right. So, this new t-shirt design. So I've had a lot of people ask me, you know, Trip, you know, you do these trip dips a lot. You know, you should come up with a trip dip shirt. I'm like, okay. So, I don't know, 6 months ago or a year ago, whenever I first started doing trip dips, probably a year ago, I kind of had some ideas rolling through my head about, okay, I might can make a trip dip t-shirt. Well, it's getting about to the time where I need to order new t-shirts anyway. Some of my regular OT design, OT right here, and I was like, okay, let me see if I can come up or put this trip dip design down. And so I started drawing on the computer, had an idea in my head, and this is what I came up with. What do you folks think about that? Trip dip, right? So here, that's just a photo of someone just says jumped into the water, right? Nothing too special or too fantastic. Trip dip at the top. I don't know. I think that looks pretty decent. So I'm probably going to be having those made. I may do a few minor tweaks to the design. We're probably going to be having those made in the next couple weeks, and those will be available at tripsmith.live if you guys want to check those out. Probably going to just go with gray shirts unless you guys have some good suggestions for colors. Let me know, because I'm not really, you know, the most hip and up to date on what colors. I don't have the best eye for that. So I'm always looking for suggestions from you folks. So there it is, right there. That is the new t-shirt design. Hope y'all like it. All right, so let's jump in here and let's see what's going on in the chat, and we'll answer a few questions. Oh my goodness. Here, JC Vlog says, "Hi Trip, I went on the paddleboard and got in a crap situation. I'm sitting," I believe that's what he's meant to say, "I'm sitting in the hospital because the fin hit me in the face." The fin of the paddleboard hit you in the face. And how does that happen? Man, must have been one heck of an adventure. Well, I hope you had the camera rolling, right? If not, you missed out on a good video. Hey, I'm not centered in here. I need to turn this way. Like that. Yeah, hope you had the camera rolling for that. All right, let's see here. So earlier I was in the chat before this all started. I was chatting with a few folks, and we're talking about Rockadoc and some of the things that we are planning on having to improve Rockadoc this year, which in the last like 3 days, my list has grown, and I've got a lot of good ideas to make Rockadoc better. Hope everyone is excited about that. And one of them is a kayak wash station. And Danth98 says the kayak wash station is a good idea. He said, "I had to wash your Blackfin with water from a faucet the first year." Oh, Dan, Yep, because he borrowed my Blackfin. Perfect. All right, there you go. Appreciate that, Dan. Okay, I didn't realize that was you, Dan. Cool deal. All right, let's see here. DJ Kaiser said that's how I got the good gas mileage, was with the electric shave on the front of my boat there on that last trip, because I did get extremely good gas mileage. I thought like better than 10 miles to the gallon, which I wasn't expecting on that skiff, but pretty happy about it. I think you used the board wrong. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. JC Vlogs, who got hit with the fin, he said, yeah, basically I got sucked under the current and I went under and the fin hit me in the face. So not my fault, really. Nah, not your fault. Yeah, no, I don't guess it's your fault, which, I mean, hopefully it's never your fault that you get injured. But yeah, I guess that would suck. So now we got to be careful. Let's see. Oh, Mad Sai said, hey Trip, thank you for answering my question regarding the carbon rail. You are welcome, Sai. I'm glad you're here to see it being answered. Let's see here. All right, B-Dub is commenting about the Blackfins. He says the Blackfin has one less layer to be lighter, but it's just as strong as the regular iRocker boards. And the pumps are the same for the iRocker, but now a better bag and a carbon fiber paddle too. Okay, cool, awesome. All right, first question, or a question we have here by King Rex. He says, hey Trip, how do you like camping on the skiff? Any other ideas you've got for it? Let's see here. I like camping on the skiff a lot, or I like the thought of camping on the skiff, and I like the conveniences that camping on the skiff give me. Like, I don't have to really search for a campsite. I don't have to get out and get dirty, or get my gear out and get just string things up and then pack things up back in the boat, because everything stays on the boat, which is pretty nice. And so, do I have any other ideas for it? As in for camping on the skiff? Yes, I mean sort of. I mean, I kind of just fly by the seat of my pants. As you guys obviously noticed from that last video, my sleeping arrangements. But so for the next one, if it happens, or when it happens, I will probably sleep on it pretty similarly. I will probably adjust how I have a bug net, and I'll probably just have a sleeping pad, like a backpacking air mattress. That would probably be the gist of my improvements, because everything else worked pretty good, and whatever. As long as I'm out there, I'm happy. Most of the time. Well, as you can tell, because last time I was out there, I only got a few hours of sleep, and I was pretty happy. So, I'm pretty simple. I don't really want to do anything too extravagant, because, truth be told, I might be selling this skiff at the end of this season. It's why? I don't know. Just I might be doing that. So I don't want to put a lot of time and effort into it, or drill a lot of holes or mount a lot of things to the boat. I'd like to keep it nice and clean, so whenever I do pass it on to another owner, it's not butchered up, right? All right. Let's see here. Oh, Base Camp Carolina says that they don't typically do fires because he believes it goes against the leave no trace saying. Okay, well, yeah, probably. Yeah, you're right. I guess for the extreme leave no trace, yeah, it probably does. But do I think a fire really hurts? I don't know. Probably not, because they have forest fires all the time. But as long as you take care of the area, I think it's okay. But hey, good to know. I've been leaving no trace when it comes to the fire. All right. Next question is from B-Dub. He says, want to go halvesies on an adventure island tandem? That's an interesting question. I used to actually have one of those, and it was pretty cool. But I'd probably prefer not to go halvesies. I enjoyed having that craft. I owned it for about a year or more, probably. I went down to the Florida Keys and picked it up. As a matter of fact, when I saw it in the Florida Keys for a decent price, I was like, I got a reason to go to the Keys. I can go down there and do an overnight trip and get this awesome sailing kayak trimaran. Yeah, I'm going. So I went and bought it, but I wasn't really totally satisfied with it because it was just so much hassle with the trailer and stuff, and it really didn't help extend my cruising abilities versus a regular kayak, I guess, that much, enough to warrant it. So I let her go, but I really loved having it, and it's a pretty cool craft. If I had the money and the space, I'd probably still have one. All right, let's see here. Peter Lowman says, when is your next trip on a paddleboard? Well, Peter, my next trip on a paddleboard, I'm not sure, but if it's going to be my next trip, but it's probably going to be, I think, in the next 2 weeks. I have a block of time off next week for like 12 days, or I don't know, 8-9 days, something, where I was planning on going to Denver, Colorado to the outdoor retailer, but that got canceled, so now I have a block of time with, nothing to do, right, with no work to do, and I was planning on going out of town, so I'm not going out of town for that, so I may try to plan 2 adventures, and one of them I believe will be going down the Withlacoochee River on the stand-up paddleboard. At least that is what I'm wanting to do. I've been meaning to call Dale over at Southern Paddling Guide today to talk to him about that, but I haven't gotten around to it. I've got a long list of things to do. It's pretty cool. Things are rolling with Rocket Dock and stuff right now, so I've got a lot of stuff to do. But that might be the next adventure. Another one I'm going to try to do is see if I can line up a time to go on a tiny houseboat adventure. It's literally like a company who rents out these tiny houseboats, and you go and you camp on these tiny houseboats. Yeah, pretty freaking sweet. It's down on the St. Johns River. Just look up Tiny Houseboat Adventures on Instagram. Tell them Trip Smith sent you. But it's really pretty cool. I want to do a video of that for you guys because I think that is something a lot of you folks would enjoy and be able to do because it's so easy and simple. It's a little simple boat, but it's a pretty cool little houseboat. They're like, I don't know, 18 feet long or something. Pretty cool. All right, let's see here. Adam Drake, it's okay if you're late, buddy. Just don't be late to the potluck, all right? All right, let's see here. Let's see here. B-Dub says, how did you like the Blackfin paddle? The Blackfin paddle that I got, the shaft was good if I remember correctly, but the blade was a little flexible. You know, if you guys, we did a reply line a while back, and I kind of brought some paddles in here and showed you how flexible some blades are and how some are stiff. I want to say the Blackfin was a little flexible, so I have never really used it. I've always used my stiff-bladed paddles. I like them better. And do I have a different paddle I would recommend over it? Yes, I would recommend another paddle. The one that I purchased, I got it from Academy. They don't sell that exact same one anymore, but what I basically tell people about paddles is, okay, you can start out with your $35 paddle, $30 paddle. It's not that great. It works, but you can spend a little bit more money and do a lot better. So you can spend $80, $70, easily under $100 and get a paddle that is much better than your original paddle that comes with whatever craft you have. And I would highly suggest upgrading your paddle. Granted, you can spend $150, $200, $300 on a paddle, but I think you get the best bang for your buck just stepping up to an $80 paddle for most novice and amateur hobby paddlers, right? We don't need anything super special. Granted, I do have one like $180 paddle for my SUP, and it's super nice, and I love it, and I like it better than the $80 paddle, but I only use it when I'm like at the beach and stuff and not on a river and creek because I'll break it and I won't be happy because it's like super light. It's awesome. But basically what you want is you want a resin blade or a carbon blade, because when you look in the description it says that's going to tell you that, okay, this blade is stiff. It's not going to flex when I pull my stroke through the water, right? So that's basically what you want. All right. Booyah, Matt Cleland. All right. The Molexis says, any big paddles planned with your buddies this year? Started watching you because of TJ at Kayak USA. No, I don't have any big paddles planned with my buddies. I was talking with my buddies from the fire department, the same crew who went down the Ecofina Creek with me. It was just a crazy, fun trip. That video is amazing if you guys haven't seen it. But we are trying to plan a little day trip to a special little creek that's supposed to be nice and clear that people don't really get to see much because it's a little tough to get access to. But I'll be sharing all that with you guys if and when we make the video, so I'm really looking forward to that, and it should be a fun video. It's not with TJ from Kayak USA, but from some of my other good buddies who are a good time. All right, let's see here. Leonardo Del Campo said, Trip, I just got myself an LT10 Ginu, putting a 15 horse on it. Awesome. How do you like your Ginu? How did I like my Ginu? I loved my Ginu. Ginu was awesome. I sold my Ginu. Why did I sell my Ginu? Not because it sucked, but because it just didn't get me everywhere I wanted to go. If I would have taken the Ginu where I went on my last trip, I would have sunk the Ginu quick. Really quick. When I went out into the Gulf that morning, I would have sunk it very quickly. So that's why I sold the Ginu. Now I have my little skiff. It's pretty much just as capable. Goes almost everywhere the Ginu would go. The Ginu, granted, is a little bit shallower, a little bit easier to handle, narrower, but I like the skiff better. But a Ginu's great. I really do wish they handled rougher water better, because I would have kept it for sure. I love that thing. Let's see here. Your honest opinion. All right. Hey, Erica, you finally caught a live stream. Welcome. I'm glad you loved the videos. I love that you love the videos, Erica. All right. Question from Chris. He said, do you enjoy the expensive toys or your simple floats, your paddle floats more? Well, do I have expensive toys? And would you consider my skiff expensive? Well, I guess it's all relative on how you look at it, but really, it's really a pretty cheap skiff, to be honest with you. The Ginu is pretty cheap. Some people pay that much for like some of the nice Hobie kayaks, or that Hobie Tandem Island costs more than my skiff. So, if you get a newer one. But which one do I enjoy more? I would have to say I enjoy the location more, regardless of what I'm on. If I was on $1 million yacht, or if I was on a inflatable boat from Walmart, it doesn't really matter, as long as I'm out there making it happen, living the experience, living the adventure, and where I'm at, what's happening, that's what matters. So, and which ones of those do I enjoy? I don't know. I guess I enjoy mixing it up, because that's what I've been doing lately. And I really enjoyed going to Destin and hanging out, being there kind of in the little, the little city, the harbor stuff. That was kind of a fun little change of pace for me, kind of like a little vacation for me. But I also enjoy the Santa Fe River when I was on the Ginu, and I got to see all that stuff. I got to cover a lot of ground. But then again, I also enjoyed when my buddies and I went down the Icapina Creek, and I really enjoyed just all my adventures. The paddle boards. When I went out to Dog Island, that was so much fun, so cool. When I went scalloping on the paddle board, that was awesome. One of my top trips. So I really can't say that I enjoy any type. I just enjoy being there. That's what I enjoy, and what happens when I'm out there. That's what I enjoy, right? So basically, I'm going to pick a location, pick what I want to do, and I'm going to pick the craft that best fits and allows me to do what I want to do at that location. If that's a skiff, if that's a paddleboard, if that's a backpack, that's what I'm going to use. Here's your answer. Let's see here. Hope you like that. Hope that makes sense. All right, let's see here. B-Dub. Wow. Thank you for the super chat. Look. I don't think I've done this yet. Woo! Thanks for the super chat. You're awesome, B-Dub. Hey, man, I appreciate that. The super chats, they do help, but I'm glad you're finding value in this. Yeah, really am. And so thank you so much for that. I will try my best to keep up the awesome videos, and I'm more than happy to share what knowledge I have. If you see that as good advice, fantastic. Some people may not see it as good advice, but I'm giving it nevertheless, okay? All right. Erica says, looking to make this my year for monthly camping trips. Sweet. Me too, Erica. That's what I try to do, really and truly. If you guys notice how many videos I make, camping videos, it's usually about one a month. Sometimes not that many, but that's what I try to do. So that's my goal too. But really my goal is to do all the time, but I have a job and family, so I can't really do that. But anyways, that's life, right? All right, Trayton Tester says, how are the hammock accommodations at Rockadock? Trayton, dude, the hammock accommodations at Rockadock are awesome. I'm telling you, awesome. Last year we had 151, I think it was, or 152 people, and we had plenty of room for more hammocks to hang in great spots. If you go back and watch the video, you'll see people were just hanging everywhere, but there were still so many empty trees and so many places to hang more hammocks, and everything's nice and clean and clear, lights, outlets, water spigots. Dude, accommodations are awesome at Rockadock, and I plan on making them even better this year by implementing a few little upgrades and little updates and new parts of Rockadock that I'm totally looking forward to sharing with everyone. Hope y'all can make it. Let's see here. Adam Drake says, I need to get the crew from the station in another overnighter for sure. Yeah, I do. They're good, fun stuff. What's up, Sue Ann? Hey, Mom, love ya. Yes, Chris, location. But not only location, but let's say location and attitude. Location and attitude, right? You could be in the best location, if you have a bad attitude, it can be pretty bad. Or sometimes I've been in a not so great location in horrible weather, but I've had a good attitude and still had a good time, right? So that's one thing I'm pretty good at, is having a good time wherever I'm at. And pretty much whoever I'm with. Like back in the day when I was in high school and my college years and stuff, I was a real fun guy to hang out with. I still am, but I was a lot of fun, and I still like being a lot of fun. But I was a lot more fun a lot more of the time, if you know what I mean. It was wild back in those days, and I loved it. But it's all on how you treat the situation, right? So yeah, attitude and location. If I didn't let too much out of the bag, which no, I didn't. Okay. All right. Eastrup says, so I'm training for a crazy trip through the rivers of Europe on my billboard sup from Denmark to the southern coast of France next year. That sounds like a long way. Denmark, that's touching France. I'm kind of decent at geography. So, okay, cool. Okay, so I guess southern coast of France. Southern coast, wow. So, and I think, yeah, that's a long way. All right? I'm trying to picture it in my head. Do I have any tips on long distance traveling on a sup? Best tip for long distance traveling on a sup is pack less, brother. Pack less. I'm telling you, the less you can pack, the lighter the board's going to be, and the less windage you're going to have because your gear's not as big and bulky, because you're going to be surprised on how much windage, or you may already know, but windage sucks on anything, whether it be a kayak or a sup. Also, the less you pack, the less gear and luxuries you have to pack and unpack at the end of the day means the less time you're going to spend setting up and cleaning up camp, which can suck. Right? Because a lot of times I like to just get out a little bit of stuff. Sometimes at camp you guys may see me with just a hammock out and maybe a couple other things because I don't want to put all that junk up the next morning. But sometimes I do get out a smorgasbord, but whatever. That's all situational, right? But just bring less and do less at camp so you can stay on the water more, so that you can still cover the same amount of miles and maybe paddle slower. If you're on the water for 2 extra hours because you're not packing and unpacking camp, you can paddle slower throughout the day and cover the same miles, or paddle the same speed and cover even more miles. So there's my tip. Hope that works. All right, let's see here. Leonard said, he said, what Ginu did you have? I had the Classic. And yes, the LTs are supposed to be better for chop, but they're still not. I haven't been on one, but still not going to be like a skiff, because the Ginu still, the sides are flared in. It's not good for chop. All right. Oh, let's see here. Chris said lemonade from lemons. Yeah, you got to make lemonade from whatever you got. Shoot, I can make lemonade from limes. I don't know, but basically I'm saying I can make a good situation out of a bad situation at times. It's 1,500 miles. Cool. Eat good, buddy. Work out before you go. Be ready. Wear a smile no matter how bad it gets. Let's see here. Next question is from Chris. He says, so where's the balance between only essentials and the motto that 2 is 1 and 1 is none? All right, the whole 2 in 1 thing, I don't follow that much at all, unless I'm on like maybe a 1,500 mile trip where I was far from civilization. I usually only carry 1 of everything, because really and truly, what would happen if I lost my 1? Like, what happens if I lose my 1 lighter, which actually I carry about 3 ways to make a fire. That's kind of the only redundant thing I carry. But most things I just carry 1 of, because if I lose it, am I going to die? Probably not. If I lose, I don't know. I don't even know what, my hat, my jacket, my water bottle, my my tent, my sleeping bag, my hammock. If I lose that stuff, I'm not going to die. I'm going to be okay. It's going to be a great adventure, right? But it's not going to be over. But unless you're like in the Antarctic or in the Amazon, right, or somewhere, okay, you might need some redundancy. But other than that, screw it. Just go with it. Make it happen. Adapt and overcome, right? Let's see here. All right. Sandman says, what are your views on a DIY sup or kayak? I love this question. I've seen several plans online to do so and would love to attempt it. Keep up the great videos. Sandman, I see those plans a lot too, and I see all the different crafts, and I look at a lot of them too. Me personally, I am capable of building those crafts. I built a skiff when I was a lot younger. It's some of the first videos I have on YouTube. And I've considered doing that a lot, actually, but I haven't pulled the trigger. Why? Because me personally, I'd rather be out paddling than I would be in my shop building something. And so, money for money or dollar for dollar, it's cheaper to go and purchase a boat or a kayak or a paddleboard and take that out in the water and go now, rather than spend months or whatever, weeks working on this craft that you generally can't get your money out of when you sell it again, right? So me personally, so far I have mainly chosen just to purchase something and go, right? But if you do have the passion to build it, if you really desire to have something that you created with your own hands, which is so rewarding, do it. That's when you should do it. And if you don't mind spending the time, or if you have if you already have a kayak or a paddleboard and you want to build another one on the side, do that. But I just choose to buy them and rock and roll. Okay. Let's see here. Thanks, Skip. You're welcome, Leonard. Oh yeah, Marvin Key and Content Key should be awesome. I want to go there too. Have fun. I know exactly where you're at. All right, what's up, Griff? Let's see. Leonard, you have an electric bilge pump. Yeah, the problem with an electric bilge pump, yeah, granted it works, but a lot of times, let's just get in this scenario. Let's say we're cruising on our boat, right? And we get, and we're in chop, obviously. We get a wave over the side or over the bow or over the rear. All right, that's going to put water in the boat, so your boat's going to sit a little bit lower. Well, what's usually behind a wave? Another wave. Yeah, generally there's another wave behind that wave, right? So what's going to happen when you get a little bit of water in there? Okay, your bilge pump might be able to catch up, but that next wave, more water, and it kind of gets snowballing. More water, more water, more water, more water. Your bilge pump usually doesn't keep up. So like if you kind of study or kind of read about people who have been swamped, especially in GNUs, over at GNU Holics or Microskiff forums and stuff, if you go and look at all the people who have been swamped, they all had bilge pumps and stuff, but typically it happens so fast, boom, boom, boom. Once you kind of cross the point of no return, you got to have a whole lot of bilge pump to catch up. At least that's what I've read, and it makes sense to me. Granted, I've never experienced it, or I've never. I don't even gonna say that, but because it might happen. But bilge pump may not always work. All right, let's see here. Last question right here is from Dakota Roy. He says, what is the best way to deal with sand when camping in a tent on the beach when you have to clean up at home? Oh, that's an easy one, brother. Get yourself a hammock. I'll be honest with you, I can't answer that question out of experience because I've never camped in a tent on a beach, and I have zero desire to do it. And 90% of the reason, probably, I don't know, the greater majority of the reason is because of what you just said. All the sand that would get in there when I'm in there and stuff and just be nasty and then be all over my tent when I get home. When I hang my hammock and my tarp, I don't get sand on it. But what would be the best way to deal with it? I don't know. Grin and bear it, buddy. I don't know. Maybe, all right, here's a suggestion. Maybe have a cot while you're in there, and then when you get home, you just got to set the tent back up, let it dry really good. You may even have to rinse it with fresh water because we all know that kind of salt water doesn't really want to dry. Things stay moist when you get salt on it. So you may have to rinse it and get all the sand out. I don't know. And then let it dry and then kind of all the sand out. But it would probably suck. But a lot of people do camp on the beach in tents. It's just not something I'd prefer to do because I don't want to deal with the sand and the mess and the nonsense. Because I'm already, usually when you're on the beach, you're already hot and sticky. I don't want sand and stuff all over me. So, sorry, Dakota, but I'm just not a big fan of that. Anyhow, all right, folks, enjoyed this reply line so much. Really enjoyed it. Thank you all for being here. So take care of yourselves. If you have a question, ask it in a comment on a video or send me a message or something. I'll be answering these questions and comments on the next reply line, episode 17, coming up. All right, folks, take care. God bless. Get out there. Usually say that. Do I say that at the end of reply lines? I guess I do now. All right, folks. Take care of yourselves. See ya.